There are claims that Armenian diaspora has a firmer stance towards Turkey, and there are also claims that these are undermining the bilateral relations. What do you think of this?
Well, in general, let me say the foreign policy of Armenia is made in Armenia, and on most of issues related to Turkey, there are no major differences. As you know, genocide recognition is on Armenia's foreign policy. We pursue this, although we do not make it a precondition to normalize relations with Turkey. Our diaspora also pursues genocide recognition. This whole recognition thing is our moral obligation, moral responsibility as Armenian people to get international recognition, and also eventually to work with Turkish government to reach a recognition. But the key here that everybody should understand, particularly the Turkish people, that the Armenian government, the Armenian people, have never made genocide recognition a precondition to normalize our relations. We would like to sit down and talk about these topics at governmental level once there is a normal relations between our two countries. So in general, there are no differences. And also, all Armenians throughout the world, with maybe few exceptions, would like to see Turkey and Armenia have normal relations, live in this region in peace, in good ties, establish diplomatic relations, and have our people interact through open borders. That is a general Armenian approach, whether it's in Armenia or in diaspora.
Talking about genocide claims, Armenia never gives up trying to force Turkey to recognize the 1950s incidents as genocide. So just considering the current situation, and there are also claims, there are also belief that Armenia is going to demand compensation and even territory from Turkey. And keeping all these conditions in mind, do you think this should be a realistic demand?
Look, I don't want to respond to what is being said here and there. You got to judge Armenia's position, what we say at governmental level. Never in these past 17 years of our independence we've talked anything beyond genocide recognition. That's our policy. We would like to see a recognition. That's a good thing for our two peoples, to our countries, to establish, open and honest relationship between our two countries. I do not see this issue to be an obstacle, the genocide recognition, an obstacle between our two countries to establish normal relations, as long as we do not make the recognition, as I said, a precondition. The problem today is that the Turkish government is making the renouncement by the Armenian side of the genocide issue a precondition. And we've been telling the Turkish government, let's not put preconditions. Prime Minister Erdogan wrote a letter to President Koçaryan saying that let's establish a commission to study this topic. We responded to Prime Minister's letter saying we would like to establish such a commission, but only at intergovernmental level between our two governments. But to be able to do it at governmental level, we need to have normal ties. We need to have open borders. We need to have diplomatic relations. So these are surmountable issues. The first thing that we need to do is open the border, establish diplomatic relations. Then everything else will fall in its place. At governmental level, as I said, we're willing to sit down and talk any topic, including the events of 1915.
So you think that opening the borders is the precondition and it should be the sole condition to normalize the relations?
No,
do you think opening the borders should normalize the relations? Is that enough?
I think it's a good start. It's a necessary step. And us demanding open borders cannot be perceived or construed as a precondition, because the normal state of affairs between two neighboring countries, short of being at war with each other, the normal condition is to have open borders. So asking to have open borders cannot be viewed as a precondition. But when Turkey says, in order to have open borders, you need to do this, 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 those are preconditions. So when we say, let's not put preconditions and open the border, establish diplomatic relations, that's the right approach, because diplomatic relations is the first thing that two sovereign independent countries do. Having open borders is a natural state of affairs between two neighboring countries. So we got to do that first, then address the other bilateral issues, including the issue of the genocide.
So there is the main, one of the main deadlock points between two countries is the Karabakh issue. There is an Armenian occupation there, and Armenia doesn't seem willing to leave Karabakh. So what's your Armenian